Hello, my brave knights, princesses, and princesses. We're back with another movie review. This one is the Blackwell Ghost series. Brace yourselves. Also, there's an disclaimer. If you've seen these movies and you liked them, good for you. If you've seen these movies and don't like them, good for you. If you see all these movies and want to rip the throat out of the director and stick him into a ghost's ectoplasm, don't do that. Seriously, don't. Five movies. I watched all 5 of them. You don't believe me? I'll prove it to you. That's the first one. Second one. Third one. Fourth one. Fifth one. There's 5 of them. I'm not kidding. But we're going to start with the very first one. That being this one. Because that's where this all starts. Blackwell Ghost one. Technically, only the first, 2 and part of the third are about the Blackwell Ghost, and the rest is about a different house, different haunting, different stuff. Yeah. So these are documentaries. The documentary is made by a guy named Turner Clay. He stars in the film. His name is Turner, I think. He is the protagonist of this film. The movie starts out with a YouTube video that I've actually seen. Basically, it takes place in a hotel. It's a black and white film. Black and white camera, I think. And basically, you'll find it. I'm sure if you look, you'll find this video. It's in a hotel. A security guard has been sent to investigate one of the rooms. And he goes and he comes out and says that there's nothing in the room, but all of the furniture has been turned upside down. In this movie, our protagonist starts out as a skeptic. He doesn't believe in ghosts, doesn't think that they exist, thinks that people are just trying to bring publicity to their stuff, you know? The typical thing. So Turner calls up the guy and he basically tries to get him to admit it's fake. And then Turner is sent another video, which I also have seen, and it's about a ghost going from one part of this room to the other in a house called the Blackwell house. And he gets curious, so he goes to this house. It's in Pennsylvania. We aren't told where. We're also told, by the way, I forgot to mention that Turner is a movie maker, and he made a zombie movie that apparently is successful because he's able to fly an airplane anywhere he wants to. It's kind of nice. And he has all these cameras and stuff. So, and the guy that they visit doesn't even question them. He just lets them in, and even lets the guy stay the night a few times to film this movie about whether or not the ghosts in this guy's house are real. And to put it simply, he gets basically more than he bargains for. Now, I enjoyed this movie. This one. I actually I find that I am very fascinated with found footage movies, depending on what they are. Like, there are the good found footage movies that make you sit there, literally frozen, like I was in this movie, and just like, wow, this is cool. I don't know if this is real or not, but this is really cool. And that's how I felt through the first, 3 movies. I was so fascinated, I watched all 3 movies almost at once. But then, the next 2. But we'll get to those. So next, we're going to talk about the second Blackwell Ghost movie. It's this one right here. So the Blackwell Ghost 2 takes place a little bit after Blackwell Ghost 1. Takes place in the same house. He decides to go back. And the reason he goes back is because the girl in this picture here, as you can see, I'm sorry. The woman next to her is Mrs. Blackwell. I'm sorry, I'm skipping over stuff. She apparently killed all 6 of her children. And she haunts that house, basically. Now, the girl in this picture is not one of her kids. She actually was the maid. And she was still alive when she contacted the filmmaker of the first Blackwell Ghost and said, hey, I know something you don't know, basically. And she gives him access to, like, this map. I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. There is a few things that are mentioned in this movie. One being that the master bedroom of the house was an addition to the house, which is why the ghost always stops at the door. Never goes in. But in this movie, there is an inconsistency. At the very end of the movie, they show basically deleted scenes or supposed, scenes that were lost because of faulty stuff. And it shows a ghost in that room. And I was like, what? Because it's beaten into your head throughout the first 2 movies that these ghosts cannot get into that room. Like, it's reinforced so much, and all of a sudden, it stops. It doesn't make sense. The other thing that doesn't make sense about these movies is that people are so willing to help this guy out, sort of, without questioning anything, at all. But it's strange to me. But yeah, I would tell you that the first 3 Blackwell Ghost movies are worth your time. I mean, I got scared. I found myself scrolling down a few times, getting nervous. I liked the first 3. Well, to a certain point of the part of 3. And then I was like, it isn't about the Blackwell Ghost anymore. Or the house. Because the old guy sells the house. It isn't. Because the next, 2 movies, 3 and the next, from part of 3 and then 4 and 5 are about a different house and about different murders. It shouldn't be called a Blackwell Ghost anymore. It should be called whatever that house's name is. I'm just glossing through this because that's the fun thing about these movies is you can go through them easily. So it's pretty easy to go through 3, 4, and 5. To put it simply, just cause, from the latter half of 3 into 4 and 5, it's no longer about the Blackwell house, but about a different house and a different murder. A serial killer who has this house near a lake in the middle of a forest, in the middle of nowhere. And from here, it just gets boring. Like, the aspect, the story is still fascinating, but the guy playing in this movie looks so bored from movie 4 and 5. He looks just so done with it all, to me. But basically what happens is he's given... No, wait. He finds a bottle. It turns out to be a map with a code. And the ghosts are just trying to get him to do something. That's the other annoying thing, is that in 4 and 5, the ghosts are not haunting him to haunt him. They're haunting him because they want him to help, to apparently help. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is that at the end of 2, I think it is, he's literally chased out of the house by the ghost. He literally is standing there. The closet is like here, he's standing here, and the ghost literally like pulls down the shades, moves the couch, opens the closet door. It's like it's coming toward him, and he books it. He is gone. But what he says at the end totally makes me sit there and go, what? Because he's like, the ghost thought of me as a friend, and I thought of it as a friend. I'm like, that thing literally chased you out of the house. That's not very friendly. I mean, it chased you up the stairs and stopped at the door that you shut it. Very convenient. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. But, yeah, he finds teeth next to the, guy's shed at the Blackwell house, thanks to a map. He deciphers the code, and finds the body of all of the missing people that hadn't been found in the case of the other like serial killer murders. And that's it. There apparently is going to be a 6th Blackwell Ghost movie, and I'm like, stop. Please. We don't need any more. You have 5 of them. I think that's enough, to be honest. Like, the first 3 were fascinating, but then 4 and 5, it's just like, it's not even about the Blackwell Ghost anymore. If anything, you should change the title to match your subject matter. So there. The House in Sheerwood are made by the same director, and they're both pretty fun movies. Like, this one's my favorite out of the 2, for reasons I'll get to. The House on Mansfield Street is about a guy who moves into a house, an apartment, technically, and is basically haunted, supposedly, but actually isn't. And I actually got jump scared by this movie too. Is it a waste of your time? I mean, there are moments where I just kind of sit there and go, why don't you just go? That's what I do with, that's what found footage movies make you do. They make you sit there and go, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just go? And my mic is crooked on camera even though it's straight! Ugh! I don't know what to do with it sometimes. It looks crooked always on camera even though it's straight to me. It's like my life. But I can easily sum up the House on Mansfield Street by saying that the guy really should have left while he still could. He meets a girl next door who does tarot cards, and just to spoil the movie for y'all, she's the one haunting the place because she's actually a killer and is evil and enjoyed haunting him and kills him at the end. That's the sum of it. He really should have left while he still could. I'm being real here. Being real. Now, my favorite. This movie. House in Sheerwood. It's my favorite out of the 2 because it's hilarious to me. The lady on this cover, her name is Karen. Yeah, a Karen is in this movie. It's great. She's doing all she can. She's spending her days trying to disprove a medium, a person who can talk to spirits and stuff. Because what happened is that Karen, went to this girl because she wanted to see what she could do. She came for financial advice, and that financial advice didn't end well. But the medium tried to comfort her by saying, "Your mother was watching over you, and that's what sent this person over the edge." And basically, she's spending her days, her energy, her time trying to make this lady a fraud, and the steps she takes are kind of hilarious. She finds a key under the mat. She gets into the house that the medium is in. It's the same, by the way, the same house. I think they used the same house in this movie. I could be wrong, but she moves furniture. She tries to prank call the medium. She tries to use a voice changer calling the medium. She even brings 2 walkie-talkies and leaves one in the loft closet and tries to scare the medium. And for a moment, I actually was like, this actually is kind of brilliant. In a sense, it's brilliant. It's stupid, but it's brilliant. But it turns out that the place is actually haunted, and the ghost actually possesses the Karen. It's kind of funny. The Karen literally is like doing this, like the puppeteer, because there's a puppet. There are puppets in the loft, by the way. But basically, she's like, "I can move." The spirit's like, "I'm in a body." And she's growling and stuff at the medium and making all kinds of noise. And it's just like, "I'm grinning eerily at you and making you uncomfortable." It's hilarious. I had fun watching this movie. I actually tell people about this movie. I tell my friends about it because it was that silly. I was laughing. I was like chuckling to myself. I was face palming. I was like, this is cute. It's cute. There are other found footage movies I watched. I think the only one worth mentioning would be a movie called Followed. And that movie we're gonna mention next. Followed. I didn't do the movie review intro here because I didn't feel like it. Followed is actually great. It's interesting, but there are a few things that didn't make sense to me. I watched this movie like a few weeks ago, but I still can pretty much sum it up. It's about these filmmakers. Well, yeah, these filmmakers who basically investigate, supposedly haunted places, and they finally, for, a certain amount of subscribers, they go to the most haunted hotel in all of America. And they get more than they bargained for. That's the summary of it. The main guy in this movie is dirt poor. He doesn't want to admit it, but he is. His wife is a nurse, and she's been pulling shifts trying to keep them afloat. And she's also expecting. Plot twist. But this guy is doggedly determined to, get as much as he can. And everybody gets their own way of being haunted. His secondary cameraman, his best friend, is haunted by a cat? Was it a cat? Something animal. I don't remember what. And the main character is always seeing a kid with a ball, or the main serial killer who lived in the hotel. And the girl here starts seeing those things too. The only thing that didn't make sense in this movie is their editor. Every time we only see her a few times in the movie, but every time, as soon as they get into the hotel, she's crying and freaking out, and at one point tries to jump out the window, and we aren't really told why. Like, we aren't told why. At all. But we find out that the main character is actually the son, the only child of the serial killer. Because he killed his other child and his wife along with everybody else, but he was the guy who got away. He was the son who got away. Because you're told that by by a phone call, although it's kind of left hanging in the air because it cuts off. You pretty much can guess that he's the son. Oh, focus, come on. Thank you. I don't know why my focus just got so bad for a second there. Oh yeah, we all remember that review, don't we? This one. Yeah. That review is exploding. There are 2 movies by the same people I've found, and I will review those. Yeah, The Tech of the Giant Blurry Finger. That was fun. Yeah. That video has 400 views. And something. 400 something views. It's nuts. It's crazy. But yeah. Followed is fun, and I think you all should watch it. There are other found footage movies like it. There is Unsubscribed, Subscribed, which are both about YouTubers, a bunch of YouTube people who get haunted. One is about a guy who gets haunted by a stalker. The other is by a spirit. Those weren't really worth it to me. I tried to watch. I tried watching. What's the guy's name? I can't remember his name. Hold on. Don't go anywhere yet. Let me see if I can find it. There was another series I tried watching, but I couldn't watch it because it just got so boring. Let me see if I can find. Just hang on. Don't go anywhere just yet. Where is it? No, that's not it. That's not it. Nope. I'm not finding it. Like, I had a huge list of them, but I'm not finding them now. That's a bummer. Oh yeah, there's one, but it's not. That one wasn't really worth it. Oh, wait. Hold on, don't go anywhere just yet. This is probably the worst B-roll you'll ever see. Alright, here we go. Prozac. Alright. The Prozac film series. I tried watching them and I just couldn't do it. Because I watched the first one, barely got through half of it, and I was done with it because it was so jarring. There were so many more, but I didn't feel like watching them. So that's my movie. That's my review for those movies. I hope you enjoyed. I know a lot of these aren't as energetic as Attack with the Giant Blurry Finger. That one was a special one. Alright, it's special because it was crazy and stupid. And people have their opinions on it, and I understand. Like, some people were like, it isn't that great. And I'm like, I know, it isn't. It's the idea behind it that's great. It is the way it was done. Like, the point of the movie was to show that you can make a movie that's stupid with a finger, a camera, and a willing partner. It's that easy. So that's it. I'm going to go now. I've got plenty of other movies. Maybe I could. I'm not going to. I have a huge list. of movies I'm going to be going through. I need to do Enola Holmes already. So that will probably be next whenever I have time to do this again. So until then, leave a like and subscribe because there's always room for more. We're trying to reach 60K by March. In March, at the end of March. Go subscribe if you haven't yet. It helps. And we have polls now. I do a poll every now and then just to tickle the YouTube algorithm because I want to get there faster than I have been. So make it happen, people. Goodbye.